Lots of news to get to, so no funny, stupid intro. Let's jump right into it. What is up, Fin fans? Being that I'm recording this Tuesday night, I had a very crazy Tuesday. I got a lot of news for you about 5 things that I want to touch upon. You can already tell about the big one because you can look at the title. But I got a lot of news I want to talk about. So before we get into that, I'm recording on Tuesday. Let me get to your trivia. What first-round pick from Florida in 2011 started all 93 games he played, mostly at center, on the Dolphins offensive line through 2017. So he was on the Dolphins from 2011 to 2017, started all 93 games he played, mostly at center, hint, 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 went to Florida. You guys already know, comment below. And I will get to the answer, and also being that you guys are watching this on a Wednesday, I'll get you your fact right before comment of the day. But like I said, I got a lot to talk about. So I had a different video planned for today, but a lot of news broke and a lot of stuff happened, and that video is getting pushed to Saturday. And that video essentially is what the Dolphins are going to do in free agency and who I want on defense. I was planning more, but I kind of have to cram it into one video, which will be coming out on Saturday. So let's jump into this. I got some news, some notes, all that stuff. First thing that I want to talk about, I'm going to go from the things that aren't so important to the big thing that happened today, Tuesday. They moved the tag deadline. So when you want to franchise tag somebody, they moved the deadline to Monday at 11:59. So you have till 11:59 with these franchises to tag your players. Funny thing is, at noon on Monday is when the tampering period starts. So they really gave it to the players a little bit on that one, if you think about it, because they could try to negotiate, and then be like, screw it, we're tagging you. And then all of a sudden they can't try to talk to other teams to try to get a contract or anything, because now all of a sudden they're tagged right before the tampering period. It's kind of messed up. So the new timeline for the NFL is essentially at right before noon on Monday is when you have till tag. Then at noon on Monday is when the window opens for negotiation, tampering, all that stuff. And then at 4 o'clock on Wednesday is when the league officially starts. And essentially, that's when all the stuff from Monday to Wednesday, all the tampering, all the, so-and-so, you're going to hear this a lot from Monday, Tuesday, and then half of Wednesday. So-and-so has agreed to contract with so-and-so. This team has agreed to a contract with this player, but it's not pen to paper and it's not official yet. Meaning, okay, yeah, there's an agreement, but the player also, other teams can jump in and be like, hey, we'll give you this much, or hey, we'll do this, and hey, we'll do that. And then they can be like, now we're good. We're going to go with the other one, because you have 4 o'clock on Wednesday is when it becomes official, especially with some of the trades. I think there was 2 trades that happened with the, I think the Redskins and the Panthers, the trade happened. So there's a lot of things that have been going on. So that is the new timeline for the next week. Next week's going to be crazy. If you haven't subscribed, then hit that like button. I don't know what you're waiting for, because next week's going to be crazy. The other thing that broke today was the Hall of Fame game was announced. The date of it wasn't announced, but the players, the teams that will be playing was announced, and it is the Cowboys and the Steelers, which means I'm excited for this. Well, why, Doug? It's only a Hall of Fame game. Your team's not playing. I'm excited for this because that means that the preseason schedule is going to be coming out soon, which means that the official schedule is coming out soon. And I'm very excited for the schedule because that'll know when they'll be playing here against the Jets. I'm going to that game. And then also what game am I going down to Miami to hopefully meet a bunch of you guys. So that's why I'm very excited for that schedule release. So again, the Hall of Fame game will be the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Dallas Cowboys. I had a complete and utter brain fart on that one. So those are, 2 newses. Had nothing to do with the Dolphins, but I thought to myself, hey, why not talk about them? The next thing I want to talk about is we have a wide receiver coach now. Now, a lot of people and a lot of beat writers and a lot of people were talking about hey, Brian Hartline, why don't you become the Dolphins' new wide receiver coach? And I think that He would take it if Flores offered it, but I think Flores kind of still want to go with his guys, kind of want to do in-house type thing and doesn't want to bring in a new guy. So that didn't happen, but I'm pretty sure we all would have loved it if Brian Hartline was our new wide receivers coach. But the new wide receivers coach is Josh Grizzard. He was our offensive quality control, but now he's the wide receiver coach. Came from Yale. It's not much to know about him background-wise. We'll see how he does as our wide receiver coach. Our wide receiver coach / head coach assistant is now a head coach in college. Good for him going up in the world. But again, new wide receiver coach, Josh Grizzard, went from quality control. Then I told you, there's a lot. There was about 5 breaking newses from today. And of course, it's the day that I was busy and I couldn't get it to you as soon as possible. Also, I'm working. The Dolphins proposed a rule change. Now, a lot of times other teams propose a rule change. Like there's a few rule changes that the Philadelphia Eagles proposed. About 4 of them. Modify the blindside block. Make permanent the extension for automatic replay reviews to include scoring plays. Provide an alternate to onside kicks that would allow a team who is trailing in the game an opportunity to maintain possession. I like that one. I don't think that one will get passed through, but I like that one. Restore preseason, regular season overtime to 15 minutes. Implement rules to minimize the impact of overtime coin toss. Why preseason? Regular season maybe, but preseason, that makes no sense. And the Baltimore Ravens and Chargers add a booth umpire as an 8th official, which I think they should do, and a senior technical advisor to the referee to assist the officiating crew. They're not bad. The one that the Miami Dolphins proposed shows how good Brian Flores is. How the man's a thinker, and he's always situational coach, and he's always trying to get in your head. Provide the option to the defense for the game clock to start on the referee signal if the defense declines an offensive penalty that occurs late in either half. So essentially what that means is the game clock will start. So say there was an false start or an illegal motion or anything like that. Allow the defense within the 2-minute warning to be like, run that clock. Give us the option to be like, no. We'll decline the penalty. Say it was like 3rd and whatever, and they don't get it. And we're like, no, we're going to decline the penalty, but run the clock. Or 2nd or whatever. No, we'll decline it, but don't stop the clock. Run the clock. So I find that very, very interesting, and I like it. I hope they pass it. It's a very, very smart move by the Miami Dolphins and Brian Flores. So, this is the first time in a while that I've heard them propose a rule change, and I find it a very interesting one, and I like it. I like it a lot. Now, let's talk about what you guys really want to talk about. That's these comp picks. Now, we officially, the comp picks have been official. I think that the Baltimore Ravens got 3 of them. The Miami Dolphins got 2. We expected the Miami Dolphins to get 2. The 2 that the Miami Dolphins got completely shifted. We'll talk about that in 2 seconds. But, And of course, who gets the most comp picks? New England Patriots with 4. Denver, Houston, Minnesota, Giants, Philly, Seattle, all with 3. Dolphins and Baltimore get 2. Chicago, Dallas, Rams, Pittsburgh, Tampa Bay, and Washington get 1. And pretty much everyone else gets none. So I don't think Cincinnati gets any comp picks. Yeah, Cincinnati's not on there. They don't get any comp picks. So you guys might be asking yourselves, some of you guys that aren't, 100% down with what a comp pick is. Essentially, if you lose a certain amount of players, if you lose a certain player and they sign a huge fat contract with another team and they were kind of like a bright star and like a top notch. Say Odell Beckham, right? Say they didn't trade him. Say that he hit free agency. The Giants didn't re-sign him. He signs a fat contract with the Cleveland Browns. The Giants would end up getting a 3rd comp pick or the highest of the 3rd round comp pick because he probably got the biggest contract in free agency, and it was a big loss for the Giants. But the thing is, you can't, if you want to get a high comp pick, you can't bring in somebody equal to what you lost because then it negates it. So let me tell you what we got, and I'll talk about that more. So essentially, the Miami Dolphins got a 4th and a 7th. They got in the 4th round, they got the 35th pick or the 141 overall, and they got in the 7th round the 37th pick or the 251st overall. Both of those picks can be traded. That is a new rule that happened, I think, about 3 or 4 years ago, that comp picks can now be traded, which is huge. It used to not happen. So altogether, the Miami Dolphins have 14 draft picks. They have 3 in the first round, their own, and then 1 from the Texans and the Steelers. They have 2 in the second round, their own, and the Saints. 1 in the third, their own. 1 in the fourth, the comp pick that we got. 3 in the fifth, the Cards, the Rams, and our own. 2 in the sixth, 1 from the Cowboys and our own, and 2 in the seventh. Our own that we swapped with, I think it was the Chiefs, if I'm correct, and the comp pick. So altogether, the Miami Dolphins have 14 draft picks going into the 2020 draft. Now, you might ask yourself, well, where did we get the 2 comp picks from? They originally were going to be a third and a fifth. The third was going to come from the Juwan James signing with the Denver Broncos. He signed a huge contract. And the fifth was going to come from the Cameron Wake signing with the Tennessee Titans. Both of those guys ended up being injured, and both of those guys ended up playing a little less than half of the season, which really affected the comp pick. And the third went to a fourth, and the fifth went to a seventh. So we could have had a third and a fifth, which means we would have had 6 picks in the first 3 rounds, 2 threes, and 4 fives. But unfortunately, they didn't stay healthy, and it's stupid how that rule is. But hey, we get screwed over yet again, Miami. But if you look at it, this is what it came down to, right? The players that the Miami Dolphins lost that were affected by the comp pick were Juwan James, Cameron Wake, Bolden, the running back, and Gore, the running back, right? And the players we bought in that affected the comp picks was Ryan Fitzpatrick and Eric Rowe. So if you look at it, the 4 that we lost and the 2 that we gained, Fitz and Rowe negated Bolden and Gore. So that's why essentially we got a 4th and a 7th, which could have been a 3rd and a 5th if James and Wake played fully. See what you get you get what happened? So say that the Miami Dolphins didn't bring in Fitz or Rowe, we probably would have got 2 more comp picks. We would have got 4 overall. Bolden did pretty well, so I could see that being a 6th. Gore did all right, so maybe we would have got like 2 6ths, right? But with the factor of bringing in Fitz and Rowe, it affected the comp picks. So in a whole, like I said, the Miami Dolphins have 14 picks overall. I'm excited. I think that the 4th round pick is something big because we didn't have a 4th before we got this comp pick. So now we have 1 pick at least in each round. That's where the 7 is. Then 3, 2, 3, 2, 2. You know, we have the additions. Make it 14. I think we have the most draft picks in the NFL. And expect a lot. Expect us to do a lot. A lot of great picks come in that 5th round. You know, you do your due diligence. We can get great picks in the first 2 rounds, starters, and then that 5th round with 3 picks, Miami Dolphins could find some really, really good, capable backups, really, really good, capable eventual starters. I will talk about when the draft comes, some surprise deep draft picks that end up playing and becoming really, really good. And the Dolphins have a good amount of late picks. I'd probably trade some of the 7th and 6th rounders, maybe move back into the 4th, get another pick there, but like I said, as of right now, the Miami Dolphins have 14 draft picks, a 4th and a 7th, and a comp pick. Be sure to comment below. Let me know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys think about the move of the tag deadline. Well, I want you guys know about the Hall of Fame game. You probably don't give a crap about that. Our new wide receivers coach. The proposed rule by the Dolphins that within the 2-minute warning, if it's an offensive penalty and the defense declines it, they have a chance to tell the refs to run that clock. And I want to know what you guys think about the comp picks. I want to know what you guys think about these 14 draft picks that we have. Very interested. And if you guys don't understand, please let me know. And I'm going to get to comment of the day. But before I get to comment of the day, I'm going to give you guys the answer to the trivia question, which was which first round pick from Florida in 2011 started all 93 games he played, mostly at center. These are the hints. On the Dolphins offensive line through 2017. I'll give you guys a second in the Premier chat while I take it, crumble it up, and throw it in the garbage. I missed. It was Pouncey. It was it was Pouncey. And your facts for today being Wednesday, based on average start position for their opponents' drives to 23-yard line, the Dolphins featured the best kickoff unit in the NFL in 2017. If you guys care about that. Now let's get to your guys' comment of the day, and I took this one from Twitter. This one comes from Lolwacky. I think I said that right, Lolwacky. He asks me, Dougie Do Wrong. What would you do if 1 Joe Burrow, Tua, 3 Chase Young, and 4 Isaiah Simmons happens? In my eyes, if that happens sitting at 5, we have the chance at Okudah, we have the chance at Wirfs, we have the chance at pretty much any of the top left tackles. We have the chance at pretty much 4 or 5 could be top 5 players in this draft. And if I'm sitting there and that's what I'm looking at, it depends on what they do with Xavier Howard if they pull the trigger on Okudah, but I'm probably going left tackle. I would try to trade back, see if I get a trade up partner. Maybe somebody wants to get Jordan Love. Maybe somebody wants to get Herbert and someone's afraid, like maybe the Chargers will trade up a pick. Maybe the Colts will trade up a pick, try to get Jordan Love, afraid that the Chargers are going to take Jordan Love, drop back to about, I think they're at 8 or 9, still get that left tackle, pick up maybe another third, maybe another pick somewhere else, produce that way. But if I can't move, I'm probably taking best available, probably tackle, the defensive tackle from Auburn. I think his name is Donald, if I'm going off the top of my dome, or Okudah, one of those 3. But thank you, Lokai, Lolwaki. I apologize if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Thank you so much for the comment. Like I always tell you guys, be sure to comment below. But other than that, be sure to follow me on Twitter. As soon as this news breaks, as soon as all this stuff started breaking, I was tweeting it out. So if you guys want to like interact with me right away easily, be sure to follow me on Twitter. Also, I'm doing it on the community tab. So if you're on your phone, it should pop up while you're scrolling through your phone in your subscription feed. But if you're on your computer, go to the homepage, click on community, and that's where also I'm posting stuff if I can't make a video right away. So keep up to date with that stuff. Also on my Instagram. I'm trying to get more stuff on there. Like I said, Saturday is going to be another big video where I'm talking about free agency, what the Dolphins' strategy is with free agency, and who I think they should target on defensive side, because I didn't get a chance to talk about the defense yet. Check out the Bit Boys. We're going to have some Final Fantasy VII Remake demos, probably going to come out tomorrow or Friday. Resident Evil, I think, is coming out later today at 2 o'clock. So be sure to go over there, check it out. If you like what you see, hit that subscribe button. Don't feel like you need to, though. Also, give this video a thumbs up. Next week, next Monday, things are going to start churning. Things are starting to rev up. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, you're going to get a lot of videos from me, especially when proposed signings and stuff. But Wednesday the 18th, sorry, at 4 o'clock is when it's all official. So when the Dolphins officially make these signings, you'll get my videos on Wednesday. But the proposed stuff, you might get it later in the day on Monday and Tuesday, because I will be at work, unfortunately. But be sure to give this video a thumbs up. If you like the content, you like the channel. Check out DolphinsTalk.com. Great site I'm affiliated with. Great Dolphin content when it comes to podcasts, beat writers, YouTubers. Go over, check it out. Other than that, hit that subscribe button, because if you don't hit the subscribe button, you won't get the breaking news of potential signings that we are doing. Like I said, Saturday's video, I will talk about their strategy. So it might be a little bit quiet for the Dolphins on the first 2 days. Don't expect a lot of big splashes and a lot of big, hey, so-and-so is confirmed to sign so-and-so when the Wednesday comes. But be sure to subscribe to get all that news and stuff. And also hit the bell. If you hit the notification bell, hit all, you'll get it as soon as it happens. But other than that, I will see you guys Saturday with my next video. Friday, not Saturday, Friday. I will see you guys Friday with my next video, talking about the free agency and preparing for all that stuff. But other than that, like usual, stay classy. That fins up.